Breaking James Bond news. Glenn Powell not cast as James Bond.
Breaking news. Glenn Powell cast as Texan Man.
Breaking news. Man who looks like Capybara not cast as James Bond.
Breaking news. Koala, most similar animal to James Bond.
Breaking news. Gorilla from Sing 2 cast as James Bond.
To be fair, Taron Egerton, great Bond shout. Yeah.
That was a bit wild, but kind of connected.
Maybe we've beat the press there.
Go back to this episode when they finally announced Denis Villeneuve's James Bond. We're on the money. Put your bets on now in the bookies. Go down to Ladbrokes. Hello and welcome to episode 78 of Movie On Up with your hosts, me, Alfie Walker.
And me, Adam Barlow. Alfie, how are you?
I'm all good, mate. I'm all set up in my new office with my new setup. I've got a microphone on a stand. It's like I'm back in the BU podcasting studios. I've got a mix desk to my right. I've got a soundboard in front of me, which will hopefully be ready for episode 80. I've got Feathers McGraw staring at me. I'm all ready to go, mate.
That sounds like heaven to me. Goodness gracious. That's lovely. Your room looks brilliant from here. You've got a lovely shade of orange, as discussed previously.
Why don't you take the viewers, or the listeners, should I say, through your situation? Where are you recording from, Adam? What's your setup?
My setup is a skanky little corner of my bedroom where I have a desk with Funko Pops and Lego and tie-in merch for films like cups and little figurines. I've got a vinyl player to the left of me that I haven't touched since 2022, and I've got my bed to the right, so as soon as we're done recording I can just fall to the right and fall into bed together. It's that simple.
Sounds lovely to me. You got a bright and early one tomorrow, right? They're lucky they're even getting a podcast this week.
Yeah, you better count your lucky stars, Moving Up listeners, because I'm at the Beeb again tomorrow with a 4 a.m. alarm, which is making me feel quite sick every time I think about it.
How are you even getting to BBC Radio Solent? Because from what I'm aware, trains don't run that early.
So, yeah, they don't really. The first train of the day that I can get is at 5 a.m, so that's the one I'm going to go for. It should get me there at 5:55 when my shift starts at 6. So we'll see how that goes. I think, thankfully, I'm only shadowing tomorrow, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. And I'm then actually doing it for real in a couple of weeks' time or a week and a half's time. So if the train sort of screws me over for this shadowing shift, I'll know to avoid it when I'm doing the actual important shift.
Well, tune in next week, viewers, to find out if Adam still has a job at the BBC.
Yeah. I feel like I'm on very thin ice at the moment.
And he's only just started, so
I'm doing a good job, but how annoying would that be if the only thing that scuppers me is the travel there and back?
Network Rail, yeah.
Gosh darn it.
Classic British Railways, eh? Ruining everyone's plans.
Yeah. Underground only never had to put up with this. Anyway, what have you been up to this week? Just slaving away at the old workhouse?
Slaving away at the tax office. What a fun life I live, eh? Desperately searching for another job, but we'll see eventually. How's your week been, Adam, more importantly?
My week has been... No, don't give me that all importantly. Come on, Alf.
You've got an interesting life, mate. Make us jealous. Tell us about your journalistic experiences. Make me go to bed tonight and cry that I have such a rubbish job compared to you. Go on.
Yeah, so because I'm better than you, I went to the... I went to the opening day, the sort of official opening day of the View Cinema near where I live in Poole.
Not sponsored.
Yeah, not sponsored. Other cinemas are available. Not in Poole, though. This is the only one there. And it was really nice. So they'd organised a sort of beach-themed party. So they had stalls out the front with like a little ice cream bicycle stand. They had a Hook the Duck, and they also had a little claw machine where you got little plastic orbs, and then inside was... a token that you could exchange for prizes and stuff like that. So you sort of go around this section outside, a few photo opportunities. I met Bluey, The Bluey dog. That was quite cool.
The Bluey, which is a girl, right? I didn't realise that till recently.
Yeah, that blew my mind as well. Isn't that funny? Because it's purely just because the dog's blue. Bluey my mind, yeah. And that's on gender stereotypes for you folks. You know, blue is not necessarily a boy's colour. Neither is pink a girl's colour. So there we go.
Bit partridge.
Bit partridge there. And now I'm Jeff Goldblum. So anyway, went into the cinema. I had booked these tickets a while ago. They were £1 tickets exclusively today to get the audience and, you know, get a load of punters in. And I had a great time, but I was a bit worried because I wasn't sure who I was going to take. Everyone I knew was at work because they are doing proper, sensible jobs and I'm not. So I ended up taking my granny, who has not been to the cinema since the second Downton Abbey film. I don't know when that would have been, 2023, 2022
I'm going to start
possibly?
measuring time via the second Downton Abbey film being the birth of Jesus Christ point. So in Star Wars, you've got like BBY for before Battle of Yavin. I'm going to start using before Downton... BDA, before Downton Abbey.
BDA. Yeah, that works quite well, actually. Shall I find out what year we're in now, if we're doing that? This is such a tangent, listeners, but it will be worth it. It is funny.
Don't worry, no films to review today, so...
just shameless time filling. 2022, so we are in the year 3A DB.
Lovely. Look, she hasn't been in that long. Did she enjoy it, most importantly?
She had a lovely time. Yeah, we went to see Madagascar, which was celebrating the 20th year. Yeah, I can't believe it's 20 years old. I grew up with these films, and I think they're kind of, I don't want to say the dregs of the DreamWorks animation franchise, but if you compare it to like Kung Fu Panda and
Shrek,
How to Train Your Dragon, those two are much more respected, I think, among the film community. But I personally always had a real soft spot for the Madagascar films. They're so vibrantly animated. The voice acting is top notch in my opinion. I think Chris Rock as Marty and Ben Stiller as Alex, it's just fantastic. Oh, David Schwimmer as well.
Yeah, like I was going to say, they're quite embedded in popular culture and just like everyday life, because you get people doing the King Julian and Mort voice just daily, and like you said, that's from 20 years ago.
That's true. Yeah. I think maybe it has permeated the culture, but just not in the most sensible of ways compared to How to Train Your Dragon. Like, I don't think we'd get a live action Madagascar film.
Give it 5 years.
Yeah. Now I've given them the idea. It was a lovely experience though, and I had a great time. I got a free big old cup of cherry Pepsi, and I also got a big old regular box of popcorn, which was really nice as well. But this is a nice segue, because I also decided to buy, this was before I knew I was going to win stuff there, I also decided to buy some of Joe and Seth's popcorn. This is not an ad, but my God, they do some great popcorn. Have you ever tried this brand before?
I don't think so, Adam. I'm going to go away and have a look. What are they called? Joe and Seth.
Joe and Seth's. Yeah, if you check out their website, they've got some criminal flavours on there, actually. There's like cheese flavoured and all sorts of stuff. They do like festive ones like eggnog. Yeah, but I'm looking right now at my desk. I've got two flavours. I've got the one I bought today, caramel and white chocolate. And I've got the Fantastic popcorn that they did last month for Fantastic Four, of course, which is 4 different flavours for the different characters. It's quite nice. Then they come in sort of 75-gram bags, but I think popcorn is always quite generous. It's very filling, and it does get stuck in your teeth, so you don't want to eat too much anyway. Yeah. But these are really, really great. There's not one unpopped kernel in these packets, and they are superb.
So Joe and Seth, if you're listening...
Yeah, please, I would actually cry. That would be actually the most impressive thing I've done in my career thus far. If Joe and Seth reached out to do a brand deal, just send us one little pack, I'd be over the moon.
That's going on the BFI application to get a press pass that we got sponsored by Joe and Seth's popcorn.
Joe and Seth's. Yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah, the sky's the limit after that point. I might have to just cut this down because I'm struggling to open it. Hang on.
You're leaving us on tenterhooks, Adam. Come on. What does it taste like?
Okay, I'm armed with scissors. Let's open this bad boy up.
That definitely did not take 2.5 minutes. They definitely didn't cut anything out there.
Yeah, this is all on the fly.
Premium packaging, I must say.
It is. It's secure. It really is secure. Oh, God. This is the most... Thank God we're not doing video yet, because this is so... I'm really exposing myself for having just no hand-eye coordination. Right, here we go. Oh, can you smell that, listeners? White chocolate and caramel. Let's hear a little crunch, me. Just rummaging
Wait,
around.
before you do that, how much did this packet set you back?
Oh, £4. 75 grams. No, it's quality though. Okay.
Oh, the crunch.
Cool. Yeah, not a fan. No, that's lovely. Okay, that's enough popcorn munching for now. As I said, I took my granny along to the cinema. She had a brilliant time. But don't take my word for it. Take hers. She's got a role. She's the guest host this week. Claire Brown, please take it away. So I'm in the Nissan with Grandad, who's just picked up me and Granny from the new View Cinema in Tower Park. She's accidentally just put the pot of ice cream on the gear stick, which angered Grandad to no end. Yeah, couldn't even change gear. Anyway, Granny, what did you think of the cinema and the games outside?
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved the film. I'm a sucker for animated animal films, and Madagascar was brilliant. And then we came out and played some catching duck games and several other little things, and had a free ice cream. Ben & Jerry's, very yum. And we've got a large Pepsi and a very large popcorn.
Sweet popcorn.
So all in all, a jolly good time out with my grandson.
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself, Adam's grandmother. Thank you for the participation.
Thank you. Yeah, she's putting us out of a job here, actually. This week on Moving Up, what films are we talking, Alfie?
We're not talking any films, you are. I was planning to go see Together, the new sort of body horror Cronenberg Substance style film. They had one showing this week every day, and that one showing was at either 10 p.m, 11 p.m, or midnight. So not feasible when you have to get up at 7 a.m. in the morning. So unfortunately, I've not seen it. I may try to acquire it online for next week. We'll see.
Sorry, was that the case with every day of the week?
Yeah.
Like there was a midday showing.
No, not midday, midnight showing.
Midnight, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because it came out Friday. There was showings late on Saturday, Sunday, so like midnight. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the showings were like 10, or there was a showing at 11, and then there was a showing at 10. So it's just not practical. So the last train's at 10:30, so I wouldn't even be able to get home.
Gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I didn't catch it. I'm going to try catch it. But Adam, more so, what films are you reviewing this week?
This week I caught up on the Bob Odenkirk action franchise Nobody. The sequel came out last week, just called Nobody 2. Simple
Creative.
enough, fair enough. Yeah, bring that back where they just stick a number on the end. At least it's not even in the word anywhere, it's just Nobody 2. No imagination there. And then the other film I'm going to be talking about is Ari Aster's fourth movie, I believe, called Eddington, about COVID and lots of other controversial topics, which has, definitely split audiences, so it's going to be an interesting one. Let's start with that one. Let's talk Eddington.
A bit of a departure from his usual style, from what I'm aware. Is usually much more horror focused or thriller focused, or at least slightly creepy or absurdist, with like Beau is Afraid. This one doesn't seem it though, Adam. Am I right? How was this film?
I think, I guess COVID inherently is a scary time, right? Like the whole pandemic was really a strange time period for everyone, you know, whether you were vulnerable to COVID yourself or if you knew family members that were, if you sadly lost anyone to the illness, or even the wider ramifications of that time where certainly in the UK NHS waiting lists were just completely thrown out the window, and it was a whole disruption to jobs and to, you know, social lives, everything. It was a strange time. You know, some people took positives out of it, others took huge negatives, and although it's a kind of leveler, I think for some people it's also not necessarily for the same reasons. So I think it's interesting and quite brave for a film to tackle this topic, especially only sort of 3 years after the fact, so let's be honest. So Ari Aster, as you say, normally doing horror films, started out with Hereditary, a film that I've vowed to never watch because even the Wikipedia page has really scarred me. Do not want to check that one out. Midsommar, Florence Pugh, of course, Will Poulter, need to check that out. I'm very excited to finally watch that at some point. I don't think I'll like it necessarily, but we'll see. And then Joaquin Phoenix, he sort of collabed with, I think, 2022, 2023, with a film called Beau is Afraid. Very abstract, very strange. I've heard bits about it that sound very odd. So it seems like he's kind of departing away from horror with each project he does. And this has horrific moments in it, I suppose. There's some brutal action in there towards the end. And as I say, just some uncomfortable topics and discussions. But it's not a horror film per se. It's more of a Western. It's more of a thriller. And I would say a fantastic dark comedy. So I'm excited to talk about this one. Comes out on the day you're hearing this, or yesterday, I suppose, if it goes out on Saturday. Point is, saw it early. Big up Odin, My Limitless. And yeah, it stars Pedro Pascal, Joaquin Phoenix, Emily Stone, or Emma Stone. Austin Butler also in there. Michael Ward as well from Empire of Light, I think. You remember that Sam Mendes film that was a bit rubbish? He was a good part in that film, and it's good to see that he does good work here. So that's nice to see him back. Yeah, it's set in this fictional town, set during COVID times, as I said, and basically Joaquin Phoenix plays Joe Cross, the town sheriff, and Pedro Pascal is Ted Garcia, the current mayor. And they're running for re-election. Joe Cross is getting annoyed at all these COVID restrictions. He doesn't like wearing a mask. He's got asthma, quite severe asthma, so he physically cannot breathe. He finds it a real struggle, and very claustrophobic to be asked to do all these, restrictions, keep space and wear masks and things like that. Meanwhile, Ted Garcia is very much a sort of left-wing champion. He's very receptive to the Black Lives Matter movement and things like that. You also got the kids of this town, some great young actors in here that also have their own little rivalries going on. I think one of them is the son of Ted Garcia, played by Matt Gomez Hidaka plays Eric Garcia. You've also got Cameron Mann, who plays Brian, just another kid from the town, and they sort of have a rivalry together, and that's quite good. And then sort of brings in another young actress, Amelie Hopefully, who plays Sarah. It's quite a sprawling cast, actually, but I think everyone plays a role, and it's very specifically set out. You have a really good vision of this town, what everyone's positions are, who they get along with, who they don't like, where the buildings are, because you're sitting with this film for 2.5 hours, and it does feel like quite a slow burn, but for the betterment of character development and setting the scene, in my opinion. So I understand that people watch this film and they're like, I don't really want to spend too much time thinking about that weird moment we all had in our lives. I definitely remember thinking at the time, like, some of these restrictions are, important, and I adhered to them, but I think everyone that was of my age or a similar age in school and maybe, really suffering at the fact that you couldn't see mates for months, you kind of couldn't help but get a bit riled up and sort of frustrated at all these things that were in your way of you living your life. So it kind of touches on that. It touches on the Black Lives Matter movement quite heavily as well. And the fact that because all these kids and young adults our age were locked up, we got really swept up in that movement. Even if you were white, I certainly found myself becoming kind of cripplingly feeling guilty and really quite angered, by all this stuff going on. I remember learning about loads of the history of slavery and stuff. Like, I had too much time on my hands. Important subjects, don't get me wrong. But this film almost is a bit, it's risque in the way that it critiques people that did that, because it's like, why are you getting involved? This isn't your fight to fight. And then similarly, Joe Cross, who has Michael Ward, who plays a guy called Michael, another police officer in Eddington. When the Black Lives Matter incident happens, they then, every other line of dialogue, keep checking in, like, Michael, how are you holding up? Like, they'll be shouting at someone, and then they'll take a beat and be like, but what do you think, Michael? Like, and just getting... It's a really hard film to talk about, I think, because it will make... I think if you don't like it, I think you'll feel... there's reasons to not like it. It's deliberately polarizing, right? And it's kind of a tricky film to discuss because there is so many trigger points in the film in some ways. So it is an uncomfortable watch, but I also had a really great time. I laughed a lot. It's very witty, very dry. I think Joaquin Phoenix is putting in an absolute shift here. You and I were both defenders of Joker Folie à Deux last year, and I think this is another turn for him that, again, is going to be divisive, but I think I'm on the positive side of it. Pedro Pascal, always great. Probably better than his performance in Materialists, I would say. I think if we're ranking the films he's done this year, it's Fantastic Four at the top, Eddington, then Materialists for me. I'd be interested, listeners, if you've seen those 3 films as well. Let me know which one you preferred and how you'd rank them. But I had a really great time with it. I'm excited to rewatch it at some point. Probably not in the cinema, but I think it's one I'd probably go out and buy on Blu-ray. Oh, man, I don't want to go into it too much because I think there's a lot to enjoy. There's some twists and turns that really keep you on the edge of your seat. And it's beautifully shot as well. Ari Aster is clearly a very deliberate, quirky and interesting director. And yeah, although I will never watch Hereditary, I am definitely inspired now to go and watch his other films.
As Adam just said there, he made a point about Pedro Pascal. And we've been on about him for a while now. Everyone's favourite sexy Mandalorian. But we've been saying, has he exhausted his potential? Is he a bit samey? Is he everywhere too much? Well, in this week's sound game, Adam Barlow, I've sent you 9 clips of Pedro Pascal.
Are they all Pedro?
All Pedro.
Amazing.
So they're TV or their film. You need to listen to them and tell me, where's it from? This is Pedro Pascal's Poignant performances.
Nice. Yeah, good work.
Poignant's subjective as well, but take it away, Adam. Where is this first clip from?
Thank you. Can you just stop stalling and answer the question? What is your 3rd favorite movie of all time?
Paddington 2.
What? Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, Paddington 2. Connect those dots. I mean, I don't want to be a snob, but...
I cried through the entire thing. It made me want to be a better man.
Bullshit, Mom! Paddington 2 is incredible.
I fucking told you.
Brilliant clip from a fantastic film. One I always am in the mood to rewatch. That is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Nicolas Cage, so good in that movie.
It kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it, as well? I just didn't see anything about it, and then all of a sudden everyone was raving.
Yeah, you're right. Very meme-worthy as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that Paddington scene has become iconic. As you listen to these, you'll realise some of them are very, very obvious. There's a few on here, though, that you might struggle to get. But yeah, take it away. What's the second clip? Okay. That's 1 for 1 so far. You're
talking to a man who had a very deep Pedro Pascal phase in 2023. I don't think you're going to catch me out.
Oh my... You know what I'd like? I would want all of your power, influence, authority, all the respect you command in the command. Everyone must respect.
Oh my God.
Famous last words there, Adam. I don't think you're going to catch me out.
Yeah, I might have jinxed it. That sounds very sexual. I don't know what the context of that is.
It's not, but I thought the same. There's a lot of moaning in there.
It's very pantsy, isn't it? It's like, oh, I want all your power. Like he's rolling his arse in a very Latino-esque way. I say, I think I'm going to go on a whim here. I haven't seen it, but is it? I think you deliberately avoided using an actress in there. Is it Wonder Woman 1984?
Yeah, spot on, mate.
Yeah.
I was tempted to do the bit where she goes, Max Lauren, you need to give me the stone. And she jumps on the front of the car.
Oh, man. You should have, really. But we'll save that for another week.
All Gal Gadot clips.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. That would actually be really difficult.
Acclaim this city for the glory of Rome. Ve Victis.
Woe to the conquered.
A film I'd forgotten about, actually, now I think about it. Gladiator 2.
Yeah, right. We were looking forward to that so much. And it was fine. And I enjoyed it at the time. But then as I've settled on it, I've kind of gone, wow, that was a real moment that sort of culminated into nothing.
Yeah. I think because they're working on a third one, aren't they? But I really don't think. Yeah, it's just not permeated at all, has it?
No,
Yeah.
not at all. Not like the
Crazy.
first one, especially. That's 3 for 3 there, mate. Take it away. What's the fourth one?
I understand. If mine brought strangers into our situation, I wouldn't be happy either. But of all the people he could have found on the radio, we're actually decent people just trying to get by.
Oh. Well, aren't I the lucky one?
There's stuff we have in the QZ that you don't have here. Books, medicine, machine parts. We can help each other and get that gun out of my face.
This one I'm not sure on.
The other actor in the scene might give it away a little bit.
It sounds like Ron Swanson, not Ron Swanson, what's the character? Nick Offerman, is it?
It is indeed, my friend. Yeah, I'll give you that.
But I don't know what they've done together.
So the episode that this is in, this episode of TV, kind of giving it away there maybe by letting you know there, but this episode of TV is probably like top 15 episodes of TV I've ever watched.
Oh wow, okay. I mean, thinking of TV like Narcos, but is Nick Offerman in that? I don't think he is.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's Last of Us. It's the episode with Murray Bartlett and Nick Offerman as the couple. It's
what an
so
idiot.
good.
Yes, of course. Oh, of course. Do you know what? I completely This is going to piss people off. I completely forgot about The Last of Us. That was not... Like, I was thinking TV shows. I was like, Mandalorian or Narcos, and it's not Mando. Obviously. Oh, man.
He's fallen at the fourth hurdle.
Yeah. I'm going to have to return my Pedro Pascal club membership badge. I'm gutted.
Take it away. This is clip number 5.
Mandalorian.
All right, pal. It's time to go.
Oh.
What a nice scene, eh?
Yeah, season 2 episode. I can't remember how many episodes there are. Is it 8 or 10?
I think it's 8.
Episode 8. Yeah. It's such a touching moment, and I think it's nice that he takes his helmet off. Like, it's a shame that you then spend another season of him trying to, get forgiveness for that act. But I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
And they ruined it when they just gave him back to him as well and did a whole in a Book of Boba Fett spin-off TV show. It was like, oh, now he's back. A real shame. It was a poignant ending to that, and kind of gutted that they reversed the whole thing. But
yeah,
Disney's got to sell plushies, haven't they? So
yeah, I'm now thinking for the next few clips, you might catch me out by using a Book of Boba Fett clips, and I'll say Mando. Oh, okay, I'm on edge now.
Go on, take it away. Clip number 6.
You shouldn't drink before a fight.
You learned this during your years in the fighting pits. I always drink before a fight.
It could get you killed. It could get me killed.
Today is not the day I die.
That is Game of Thrones.
Yes, well done. I wasn't sure if you'd get that as someone who's not seen it. I guess Peter Dinklage probably gave it away, but
yeah, Pedro plays the one that gets his eyes bludgeoned, doesn't he?
Yeah, yes. He plays Oberyn Martell, and ironically, he says that line on the day which he dies in the show. Today is not the day I die, and then he has his head popped like a watermelon. So, yeah, poor him.
Goes to show you never jinx yourself, otherwise you get your eyes popped out.
This is clip number 7. I don't know if you'll get this one. And just to preface, all of the screaming at the end is Pedro.
Oh, right. Okay.
Not on your life.
Wait.
Good God.
And then I've cut about 25 seconds off the end of that where he just carries on screaming as well.
Good Lord. That is purely because I was looking at the trailer for the next kind of one they're doing. That is Drive Away Dolls, I think.
Bloody yeah, well done. I didn't think you'd get that. I haven't seen it, but from that clip alone, I want to now watch it. It was very funny and very stylized. I think it looks really cool.
Okay. I think in that film they keep cutting away every now and then to transitions of Miley Cyrus just dancing. I don't know why. All the more reason to watch it, I suppose.
Clip number 8. Go on, take it away.
Hello, gorgeous. I'm Jack. What's your name?
How would you like to ride home on a real cowboy? I got a 6-pack of cold ones on ice and my roomie's out all night, so you can scream my name as loud as you need to, sugar.
It feels weird not hearing the music with it, but that is Kingsman: The Golden Circle. I think actually, aside from the edit that obviously went viral like 2 years ago, not a Pedro Pascal project that I think people quote or talk about as much anymore. I think he's now been in so many things since, like Mandalorian, The Last of Us, Gladiator, all the films this year. I think, it's sort of been left behind a bit. But
yeah, that was the first one, I think, wasn't it, where that edit came out and everyone was talking about it. And now he's just been in so much. I think you're right. Like he's kind of just sort of, he now just exists in popular culture rather than his characters.
Yeah. I love him, man. He's so good.
Take it away. Clip number number 9.
Matthew, I'm here. Hey, man. Hey, man. Came all this way, had to explain. Direct from Reynaldo. Matthew's my guy. Said he's not bi, but we did hook up, though.
It's so good.
Oh, great clip to end on. Every time I hear that, I'm like, God, it's worse than I remember. It's so funny. Hey, Matt. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt. It's so good. And his little face when he's staring at the camera, he's like,
hey, Matt. Hey, Matt. He's had such a great legacy on SNL as well, because the round he did before then, when he's like the Spanish mother, it was like, you don't call me enough. Like he's really hamming it up, and you've got to admire the absolute energy and the passion that he has for performing, because you can tell he loves it. Like it's really nice.
He seems up for like anything as well. Because there was the one where they did like the real life Mario as well with him, wasn't it, on SNL?
Yeah.
Like he just seems like he's like, yeah, go for it, innit? Like take the piss out of me a bit. Just he seems like a real good sport kind of thing.
Mario.
He's like, let's go.
I'm trying to think, what's another great SNL sketch he did? The mother one was obviously great. Yeah, I don't know. There's loads.
Well done there, Adam. You got 8 out of 9, and I'll tell you why it's only out of 9. I was planning on doing 10, and I was going to do exactly what you said and put a Book of Boba Fett clip in there and trick you, but my computer gave up the ghost, so I just had to do 9. But well done. 8 out of 9 there, mate. Very well done.
That was great. How many letters in Pedro Pascal? 10, isn't it? P-E-C. Oh no, it's 11. Can you imagine if you did? Oh well, forget it. Move on.
Bob Odenkirk is excellent in Better Call Saul. As I said before, better than Breaking Bad, in my opinion. He is so good in that. He's got that small cameo in The Bear in the Christmas episode. Also so good. How was he in Nobody 2? And I guess you also watched the first one. So how was it watching these films?
So the first one, downloaded it on Amazon Prime, watched it sort of in 2 parts on the way to a gig in London. So it was Nobody, but sandwiching a Shawn Mendes concert, which didn't really fit the vibe, I can't lie. But
just as Bob had wanted, just as he had intended.
As the director, yeah. I hear actually the theatrical run, they did split the film before a live Shawn Mendes concert, yeah. Nobody came out in 2021. I really remember the poster. I don't know why. I guess it's I don't know. I just remember it really being advertised quite a bit, but not really understanding what it was. Of course, I didn't see the John Wick films for another 2 years after the fact, but I believe this is by the same production company Yeah, it's by the 87 North production team, who also, had a part to play in the John Wick franchise. So definitely a very similar film. I think Nobody is good because it has a lot of potential. Bob Odenkirk, as you say, great actor, really game for everything, does his own stunts. I think there's a case or something, I can't remember if it's for the first film or the second one, but apparently the training that he did was able to make him fit enough to survive a heart attack that he had in the last few years.
He had a heart attack in the final season of Better Call Saul, and he was doing the training for this film at the same time, which is kind of mad.
Incredible. Yeah, that's really remarkable. Yeah, this film, it's a lot of fun. It's got a very snappy runtime, quite a tight cast. I think it's very similar to John Wick. It's not quite as stylized, I wouldn't say, but it's got the fun action. It's not got as much fun action, I would say, but it's on the same level when it does come about. There's a great scene on a bus in this first film that's particularly good. I think the directors and the creative team behind these sort of movies have really got their eye in, and they've really worked out how to build up a character that feels dangerous even when they're not on screen, in the way that people talk about them and in the way that people react to what they're doing. And that's totally the same for this. So yeah, it's basically a guy called Hutch Mansell. He's got a wife, he's got 2 kids. His house gets broken into at the start of the film, and he has to, he kind of tries to defend them, but he tries to talk down these criminals that have clearly just gone to the wrong house, haven't found much loot at all. They don't have any cash to hand, so they get away with like a few dollar bills and I think a watch and a little cat bracelet that the daughter had. It's only when Hutch finds out that this bracelet's gone that it sort of snaps, and he's like, right, I'm ex-military, I'm going to go and find these criminals. He finds them, tries to get revenge, and for various reasons is like, oh, actually, I can't really beat you up because I've seen what circumstance you're living in, which I won't spoil. And yeah, the franchise goes from there. It's now this guy that's a family man. He's got to keep his job, he's got to keep his friends, and keep his family loving him for being a good person. But also he's now got this urge and this bloodlust that he needs to let out because he just has anger issues, really, and needs to beat up people that deserve it. So cue the sequel, I guess. This is a film that at least it knows what it is. It's very goofy. It's much more sillier than the first film. I think the first one had some real potential because it's similar to John Wick, but different enough that it stands alone as its own thing. And I think, yeah, you can be a fan of both of these things, both of the films. But Nobody 2, for me at least, I'd seen it after a long shift, a late night, and it really irked me. Okay. So I'll keep this short because I don't want to rant about it too much. But don't get me wrong, it's nowhere near as bad as War of the Worlds that I reviewed last week. But Nobody 2 is not good. I didn't find it that funny. I think the audience I saw it with was really quiet, and it was a sort of 4 p.m-ish showing on a Sunday. So maybe not the most lively of audiences were expected to be there, but it was still a weekend. It was still a film of this caliber. You kind of expect them to be game for it and have, to have seen the first film, to know what they're watching.
It's still the kind of time that, like, you think, like a couple would go see it on a Sunday afternoon, wouldn't you? Like,
yeah,
you think the audience should at least be willing to be there if they're there.
Yeah, but I just didn't get that impression at all, unfortunately. So I was very much sat there with my arms folded in the recliners, but yeah, really sort of leaning away from the film. And it made me chuckle, I think, more than other people even. But I still was like, it's kind of trying too hard. That's what it felt like to me. It's essentially the same film. They retread a load of the same themes as the first film. The only big key difference is that it's the family takes a holiday to this run-down holiday town and a water park. And it's run by like corrupt cops. One of them played by one of Tom Hanks' sons, Colin. So that was quite funny because he is so similar to Tom Hanks. It's really, really distracting. And then you've got also the sort of head of the town, that he's the son of the guy who originally owned it. His dad apparently got into a load of debt. He's now got to pay it off by working for this criminal overlord who's played by Sharon Stone, I think, who plays, just this absolutely ruthless comic book villain, basically, that like owns casinos, kills entire rooms of people if one person's caught cheating. It's absolutely like balls to the wall. In some ways, I kind of commend it for being like, you know what, we had a decent idea here. We're going to just fully send it for this sequel, and we're going to, you know, have more fun with it and make it more playful. But I think actually it loses a lot of the coolness that it had before. I think they go too far with it in this one. Don't get me wrong, it's not like, it is violent, but that's not what goes too far. That's fine. And I wouldn't be off put if that was what went too far either. It's the fact that it's like they're fighting in and around kids all the time. I think all the characters are a little bit more unlikable. They all seem very shallow. They're not really adapted. They're not really built up any more than they were in the first film. So it all just feels like a bit of a waste of time. It's very juvenile. The jokes, like the running gags, don't really hit very well. And even though it was an hour and 29 minutes, it felt so much longer. And I was in and out of sleep for the third act, which is the one part of this film you don't want to be in and out of sleep of, because the first act was really slow, quite boring. I'm like, come on, let's just get to the action, get to the good stuff like the first film had. This one takes its sweet old time, which it can't do because it's less than 90 minutes. But no, it's like, no, we're going to set up the characters. I'm like, God, really? Okay. And then you finally get to the big fight at the end. That's, admittedly, they have a go, you know, they have some big explosions, you know, thumping music, but it was just all happening in front of me and I felt nothing. And my eyes were like drooping up, my head was nodding. I was like, oh my God, make it stop. And it made me feel a little bit sick, a little bit dizzy, and definitely fed up.
Big fan of this one then, yeah, Adam?
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
I knew the review was gonna go somewhere where you went, it irked me. I was like, wow. Like, I thought this was meant to be a fun film, and clearly not.
No, not for me, I'm afraid. Check out Nobody. I stand by that. I think Nobody's a decent film. It's fun to throw on like a Saturday night with the family. But yeah, Nobody 2, God. Please don't make a Nobody 3. I really don't care.
Adam, what is this week's big question?
This week it was, what is your dream rom-com trio? Finally, we've returned to the topic we discussed a couple of weeks ago now, and we've got some pretty good responses. So Alfie, I think it'd be fun if we list these off and then perhaps say, would it break the box office, yes or no? And also, is this to your taste yourself? So I'll start with this one from Libby. I messaged her directly because I knew she was talking about Materialists the other day, and I was like, oh, I wouldn't bother seeing it. And she's like, no, I don't care what you say, Adam. It's got Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal in it. I was like, okay, all right, fair enough. So I couldn't get through to her, but she was very impassioned about this subject. So I was like, right, she'll have a good answer. I messaged her the big question. She said, oh my God, okay, let me cook. Went away for 5 minutes and came back with this. Taron Egerton, Tom Hardy, and Emilia Clarke. Bosh.
I fear she cooked.
Yes, I agree. Emilia Clarke, an actress I used to have a big crush on, and yeah, just hasn't really gone anywhere post Game of Thrones.
Emilia Clarke needs a new agent. She is excellent in Game of Thrones, and she's quite good in some stuff, and then she's also in some absolute tripe. She just needs a new agent. It's the same with like Aaron Taylor-Johnson's a bit like that as well. I think if he had a better agent, which ironically isn't that his grandma wife, his agent, he could be in some like excellent films as well, but they're just not going anywhere with it. I think, what was it? Tom Hardy as well.
Yeah.
Quite an odd choice there, I think, because he's a bit older than the rest of them, right? I like it. I'd pay to watch that film.
I think it would work. Yeah, very British cast actually, isn't it? They could be from all different
bits of London.
Yeah,
you got one from the East End.
Emilia Clarke could be a young royal. Yeah. Oh God, that really works. Yeah. Great work, Levy. We're clapping.
Yeah.
A friend of the show, Josh Brooker, said Saoirse Ronan, Florence Pugh, and David Johnson. So kind of taken the inspiration of mine, which was Florence Pugh, David Johnson, and Will Poulter, but switched out Saoirse Ronan. Now, I know that this I could have seen coming, to be honest, because I know he's got a big crush on Saoirse Ronan. But hey, who doesn't? That's fair enough.
You're a big fan of her as well, right? So that seems like that's quite
Yeah.
catered to you.
Yeah, I'd be here for that. I'd enjoy that.
I've got one here. I've got one from Lewis Walker. He said Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire. I think we're just living someone's superhero fantasy there with that one, but
Yeah. I mean, we already had that. We had No Way Home. But, I mean, can you imagine them, like, properly sending it with, like, a real... Like, they are genuinely all, like, homosexual men, and they stumble into a bar.
in Spider-Man
mate,
suits. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's all, like, it's really tongue-in-cheek and, like, fourth wall breaking. But, yeah, that would work.
And then also, Brother Lenny said Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Chewbacca.
God damn it. Sure. Yeah, why not? Get some carpet burn there, but yeah.
Punch it, Chewie.
Oh no. Oh, I was still going to Dodgy's power station to pick up some power converters. Oh man, great results. Thank you everyone for that.
Thank you very much. We were thinking about what to review next week. There's not a load on at the cinema. So we were thinking, what is on Netflix? What's on Netflix? What's on Disney Plus? What's out on the streaming services? And it made us think about an email that we never read out from Lenny. Hey, moving up team, little email today about Sony's new Netflix release, K-pop Demon Hunters. I know the name sounds mental, and that's why I started watching it. But honestly, it's such an amazing watch, and yet another banger from Sony. The animation is absolutely gorgeous, like breathtakingly very Spider-Verse. Also, the characters are really fun. There isn't one I found annoying or unenjoyable. Also, the music is genuinely really good, especially the song Soda Pop that has already entered a playlist of mine. However, the movie isn't without its flaws, mostly its pacing and how some of the scenes really do come from absolutely nowhere, or a character that's sort of a main character, but only in one scene. Other than that, I think it's a great watch, super funny, and highly recommend. And with that, thank you for reading. Cheers, Lenny. That email and the lack of stuff on at the cinema has made us say we're going to watch that for next week. Both of us are going to catch it. Adam, being the big man working for the Beeb, he has said that some of the songs from it are in the charts, right?
Yeah, I think last week Radio 1 posted it, I think, actually. Yeah, saying that 3 of the big songs from the film were in the top 10, which is kind of crazy. I'm trying to think the last time that happened for a film might have been Encanto.
I was hesitant to watch it, I must say, but I've seen clips of it on TikTok, and you've said the songs are in the charts, and Lenny's review there. So I think, yeah, keep your ears peeled. That's next week's viewing pleasure for yourselves. We've also got some correspondence from fan of the show, Josh Brooker, our secret third host. Dear Joe Cross and Ted Garcia, despite how I may have introduced this latest correspondence, I was one of the few souls who didn't see Eddington in its recent preview screening at seemingly every cinema chain. Somehow he missed that. Sad but true, although I will see it, I promise, I swear. Any film that is divisive has to be seen, preferably with a crowd. But that's not why I've written in this week. Instead, another new film from A24 that got Cineworld preview screening that, if I've gotten my dates correct, should be out in cinemas by the time this particular Movie On Up episode's release. Sorry Baby. Sorry Baby, the directorial debut from writer-director Eva Victor, centres around Agnes Victor, a literature professor at an arts college in a rural area. During her time as a student at the same college, she was sexually assaulted by her professor. Because of that fact, he resigned his job before she could come forward to the authorities. He escaped punishment for his crime. Compounding this is her own feelings that she wants to seek justice, yet also doesn't want to disrupt his family life. The film as a whole is a series of vignettes focusing on her life in the years after the fact. Throughout this, she adopts a grey stray cat, gets visited by her best friend Liddy, Naomi Aki, and has a relationship with her neighbour Gavin, Lucas Hedges. all while highlighting the difficulties in healing from trauma and navigating the tightrope between allowing this situation to define her life and being able to live her life without the weight of her past holding her down. In many respects, this film is, alongside After Sun and Past Lives, one of those films where it feels it might be mind-boggling that it is only a directorial debut. For someone to create this strong and directorial statement for their first film is brilliant, and I can't wait to see what Eva Victor does next. On the topic of Eva Victor, for someone who has never otherwise been in the lead of anything, not only to carry the film brilliantly, but to also deliver a truly outstanding performance as Agnes. The scene in which she confides in Liddy about her sexual assault is proof enough on its own that Eva Victor is fantastic on-screen talent. I think the film also effectively weaves in moments of dark humour, even if a small handful of the more comedic moments didn't particularly work for me. But those moments are counterbalanced by the litany of great moments around them, such as one scene where Agnes is calmed down from an anxiety attack by a roadside sandwich shop owner. It's not a film for everyone, but those who go in and feel its wavelength are in for something special. Though I do need to report that at the end of my screening, that one bloke sat by himself loudly proclaimed as the credits began rolling, "This was the fucking shittest film I've ever seen." Aside from the fact that while he said this, I was blubbering in my seat from the film's ending, which I have not and will not spoil and will leave for anyone viewing the film. I love it when people shout stuff when they're leaving a cinema. I had it when I saw Weapons. This woman was like, "Oh, that was fucking shit." And she was walking out. It's like,
it's the worst, isn't it? Like,
think about the film for a moment. Jesus.
Yeah. And then talk about it on a podcast instead.
Yeah. It's how he was sat there alone and trying to have main character energy and rant at people around him who, based on their reactions, seemingly enjoyed it more than he did. I hope that people go and see the film. I also hope that the two best purveyors of podcast-related entertainment are keeping well. Regards to the season, me. Cheers, Joss, as always. It's funny because we were talking about this film. You've said you've got a ticket, but you aren't seeing it until sort of mid-September. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with A24 this year because obviously we had issues with Materialists. We had problems, huge setback, with The Legend of Ochi. And now this, which I think is also A24. I could be wrong, but Sorry Baby, earliest I can see is the 15th of September. And I didn't know it came out this week. So what's up with that?
Thanks for listening this week. If you want to get in touch like Lenny Walker and Josh Brooker did, you can email in. It's hello@movieonup.com. We'd love to hear your opinions on any films you've seen. Eddington, Sorry Baby, anything you've caught, any TV shows. Maybe update us on Alien Earth. What are you thinking about it? Me and Adam still haven't watched episode 2 yet, so we'll get there eventually. Yeah, once again, please get in touch. We love hearing from you. It's hello@movieonup.com.
You can also head to our social media pages, Instagram and TikTok. The handles for both those platforms are @MovingUp.
There we go. Done it. What are we reviewing next week? We said earlier K-pop Demon Hunters. Can't believe I'm saying that. We're going to review that. What film are you seeing an early screening of?
Caught Stealing with Austin Butler and Matt Smith. I'm very excited for this movie. It's one of those trailers that has just made me chuckle each time I see it. I think Austin Butler is so damn charming. A little bit underwritten, actually, I would say, and a little bit too quirky for my liking in Eddington, but that's the one sort of complaint I had, really. Again, also Emily Stone not given much to do. But anyway, I did the review for Eddington. Sorry, back to next week. Yeah, really looking forward to Caught Stealing. Looks like a load of fun.
We're also, I think, going to touch on our favourite films of the year. Adam, every year, if you follow him on his Insta, does a little post saying, these are my top 10 films of the year. We probably won't go through 10, but we're going to have a little moment to reflect on the year so far, see if it's as good as previous years, what's coming up through the year, what we're looking forward to. Just a bit of a midway through discussion, really.
Yeah, especially now we've reached the end of the summer of madness with, super drastic for stick thing. Yeah, it'll be good to discuss and see maybe what won the box office this summer. How cinema on the whole is faring, actually. That would be quite interesting to look at.
Look forward to that next week. But most of all, cheers for listening.